I don't know what we're doing, but whatever it is, we're doing it live.
Yeah.
And who are you again?
The bold one, the cold one. John Colder Ice
All
Lawson.
blurry, out of focus, and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
But I'm crystal clear, and I'm Brent Leary, and I'll always be here for you.
Oh,
That's how you do it.
you do.
Yeah, make fun of me if you like, but
There's nothing I like better.
yeah. Well,
There's nothing I like better than
what does
making
that
fun of
say
you.
about your life? If that,
Yeah, that's true. Hey,
yeah, hey,
that's pretty bad.
this is really bad
Yeah.
because I only think about you on Fridays at 5, and then I'm done at
Look,
6. So that's pretty
hey,
much
here's the deal. I'm sitting with you right now and ain't thinking about you.
it.
So there you
I'm thinking
go.
about saying hello to Thomas
Hey, Thomas.
since he is here with us.
Yeah, is he gonna be in?
Yes, he will be. I
Austin?
believe Thomas will be in Austin, Texas next week,
Oh, good. Get to
where
see
we
you in the
will be.
flesh.
We will be in Austin all at the same time. So sorry, Austin. Just
Austin. Hey,
saying ahead of time.
you're so lucky to have me.
Wish. Yeah. Okay. So we will be.
You don't even know how to. You can't even
I
come
have
back.
no words.
No
For that.
comeback for that one.
Okay? No words, Austin. Sorry, no words for that. All right. Yes, we will be in Austin, Texas. That is next week for Zoholics.
So
It is
look
the
for something.
first physical Zoholics in the United States since 2019. I think.
2019.
So yeah, and it's sold out from what I hear. It's sold out.
Really? Wow. Well,
They
yeah, I could
must
see that.
they must not have heard you were coming, or else they probably would have
Why
been
do you
sold out.
think they are sold out, bro? I mean, put two and two together. Come on.
You coming up with like 8. That ain't happening. But we are looking forward to seeing the folks at Zoho and their customers and fellow industry watchers, influencers, whatever you want to call those folks, because it's been a long time. So 500, I think it's about 500 folks. They capped it because it's the first time back. They want to see how everything is, test the waters a bit. A lot of the
How
conferences
big
I've
was
been
it
going to,
before?
it was about four times, about 2,000 people. The last one,
Really?
yeah.
Wow. Well, it's been so long, you just don't even think about it, man.
Fighting the bar recession in Texas.
Hmm.
What is there a bar recession?
Yeah, there's definitely bar inflation. I don't know about no daggone recession.
Well, that's why I aptly titled this episode, does anybody know the directions to the recession? Because tech companies don't apparently know the road. You
well,
look at their earnings. The earnings aren't showing that they know where the recession is.
well,
Yeah. Oh, come on. You're sounding like them now.
No, I mean the deal. Damn who?
Them big wig tech companies.
What are the big wig tech companies?
Haven't you like checked out the earnings reports for this week?
Yeah, I mean that they had some good numbers, but
Oh,
what are they
yeah.
saying?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's always, we don't know. And then you
Because they
see the
don't know.
and then you see they know how these guys know how to play these earnings games. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but you still don't know.
They have
I mean,
they
because
have a
here's the thing.
very good idea of what's going on with these companies.
Well, absolutely. Well, but the companies are not what causes a recession.
So what causes a recession? I mean, they're not causing it, of course not. But
I
they're
mean, a
playing.
recession.
They're playing on the fears. They're playing on the fears of the recession, the specter of the recession. Because let's face it, we've been talking like this for about 2 years now.
Because we've been in a damn recession for 2 years.
We have not been in a what recession? Where? Please point us to the recession, please. I haven't seen it.
Man. That's what I'm saying. A recession is not how much Apple and Google and Facebook and FAANG makes. That's not a recession. A recession is when consumers don't spend as much. It's
But the
all about
consumers,
consumer spending.
yeah, but
And
wait a
you
minute,
can't tell me
the
that
consumers
all
are
the
spending on all
signs,
this tech, right?
no,
Consumers are spending, well, of course, food and shelter. All right, they're always
no,
going to
but
spend.
see, but here's the thing. I mean, food and shelter has gone sky high. So that leaves less money out there in the pot for the luxuries of life.
You would think that would be the case because that's what everybody's been saying the last 2 years. That's why the interest
I
rates have
know,
been
but I mean,
going up, trying to stop people from
yeah,
spending stuff, but it hasn't really worked
exactly.
totally,
I mean, but
right?
I'm saying you're saying that's because of the tech stocks.
I'm saying that the tech stocks have been using, no, I shouldn't. Some of the tech companies have been using the specter of this recession to do certain activities,
Which would be
like
what?
laying off 30,000 people at a time.
Okay, so do you think laying off 30,000 people would have an effect on their bottom line?
Well, that's what they were saying. Don't take my word for it. That's what they're all
That's what I'm
saying.
saying. Right. So I mean, so if we look
And
at
then
their
you get
bottom
the earnings
line and
report.
then they
You get the
say,
earnings
hey, oh, we
report.
made X amount more profits. Well, yeah, because you paid 30,000 less workers. That would be part of it.
Oh no, they still no. The top line numbers are going up. That has nothing to do with the 30,000 employees that left. That's a cost reduction. That ain't a revenue reduction. that
Right.
ain't
But I mean,
that ain't
well, I
happening.
mean, how do these companies make their money?
By basically taking all of our money for all the devices that and all the apps that we buy on a monthly subscription basis
Oh
now.
my God.
I
No.
mean, let's face it. If you can get away with it, this stuff is like, it's gold. If you can get away with it, and let's face it.
And evidently they are.
I mean, I've got all the slides. If we want to look at some of these numbers,
Well, you
that
know what? More than anything, I'll look at their numbers. And then on the back end, we need to
okay.
look at the implications on their stock value.
Well,
Because
right now the
I think those are
implications on their
no,
stock value.
I don't expect it to be bad.
No,
I wanted to look at it.
I think when
Want to look at
Amazon announced and their stock went up like 10% overnight or something crazy like that. And that's Microsoft had the same reaction. Google had the same reaction, and Facebook had a even bigger reaction. So, and these are some of the companies that have laid off the biggest amounts of people
because they don't need these people anymore.
And that's why this whole talk of recession is just cover for doing certain things that they've been wanting to do for
But
a
I'm
while.
saying I do believe that there is a there is some validity to some of their speak. But let's go through your numbers.
Well, they ain't
And then
my
we'll talk.
numbers. They're
Well, I mean the numbers that you pull.
Oh, you know what? I'll show you one of my numbers before we get started.
Oh Lord, here we go. Self promo coming in 3, 2, 1.
I want to thank the great state of Georgia
There it goes
for that huge refund I just got. Look at that.
Wow.
$4.76. I'm going out on the town tonight.
You're gonna buy me a drink then.
I couldn't even buy you a bag of ice. No pun intended.
Yeah, actually, you can't anymore, can you? Not for $5.
Because the recession,
Because of inflation.
Let's look at this before we bring up the individual company numbers. I saw this in Bloomberg. Literally just got this in my email. U.S. employment costs rise by more than forecast. This doesn't jive with the recession, does it?
I don't know, man. No, not well. I mean, you have to raise salaries to keep up with the,
But you're cutting all these.
I don't know. This is all trash.
It is so weird. And Thomas's question: why don't they need the people anymore? They do not need them as they reduce their investment into really. Yeah. All right. So Thomas makes a really interesting point because the money that they are saving on the people they're laying off, it ain't just sitting around for a rainy day. They're plowing it back into R&D, and most of that is AI R&D stuff.
Exactly. That's why they don't need them anymore.
Well,
When you got AI that's making code, I don't need dark room coders anymore.
well, but the point is that's not what they're saying. They're saying, well, the
Well, they
specter,
don't want to say, because you know what? That'll cause a whole nother level of panic.
not well. Yeah, you're right. It would,
Absolutely.
because
Trust me.
you know,
Yeah,
you're
because
right.
if you start saying, if these companies start saying, hey, we don't need these people to code anymore. We're not going to be bloated, with thousands of coders because we've got AI that can do it. And hey, it's here, with the thing we've been talking about for the last 10 years is finally here.
No,
That
most people have not been talking about this for 10 years.
we've been talking about it for 10 years.
Yeah, but most people have started talking about this about 9 months ago when
Well, but not
ChatGPT started to surface.
Yeah, but not robots taking over their jobs. This is the robots taking over their
Well,
jobs,
now
but they never expected it to be this way.
I saw somebody post on Facebook this brand new thing. It's called RPA. RPA is sweeping the nation, folks.
You are so shady.
Isn't it brand new?
You are just so shady, and that's an inside joke, y'all. But
Brent
Leary be throwing the shade. Y'all just don't understand. Understand.
It will stay inside. It won't come out. It won't even come out for rainy days.
Yeah. I'm telling you, y'all, man, because this guy's shady, man.
By the way, do you have $200 you can give me? Because there's a course I want to. Oh, wait.
Wow. Shade on shade right now. Wow. Come on, man.
But look, as long as the shade stays between us two, who cares? No one gets hurt.
I shouldn't even be holding these secrets. It's the secret shade.
You better damn hold these secrets.
Yeah, I know, right?
You got some too now.
Oh, what?
Hey,
no, never. Okay,
you got some bones that you want to keep in your closet too. So don't be coming with that.
Oh my God!
Just a little levity here on a Friday. I'm in a good mood, right?
Evidently.
You know why? You know why, right?
Because of Janet.
Tomorrow I am heading to Minneapolis.
Oh, I already thought you went. Okay, so you go to Minneapolis tomorrow.
Go tomorrow. That's right. And on Sunday, from 1 to 3, I will be touring. Yes, where all the magic was created. Yes.
Well, cool. I haven't taken off my shirt in 3 days.
We didn't really need to know that.
2 days, which is 2 nights ago.
Let's see what Thomas. Much of it is plastic. Oh, it's true. It's R&D and stock buybacks. That means that they are basically saying we want this money so that we can invest, double down on what we do,
on what we know, the future is for us.
And if it was recessionary, they wouldn't be doing that. That would be going.
I just don't think the recession
savings account.
I don't think the recession is going to. I don't know, man. I just don't know. I just, like you said, we've been talking about this. We've been pulling this thing along. We've had a bank failure or 2 or 3, right? But and then
we got one going on right now. We got one going on right now.
But then you say, well, where's the recession? All the signs are here. We've got some record unemployments from certain sectors.
We do. We have
sectors.
All right. Yeah. I was going to say.
No, and I mean, here's the thing. I went to Janet. I remember, and you remember this, right? People used to come to town, and part of their thing was to go down to CNN Center.
Oh yeah,
it used to be a destination location.
Yeah, hang out. Well, that whole area people flock to.
It is like a ghost town.
Well, it hasn't been this week because the Hawks had their playoff game last night, which is the reason why. Cool. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, because they had to move Janet's show. But right. The deal is, like there used to be 2 big restaurants right there next to, right?
Oh,
like there was the wing place.
That Walensky place, is that gone?
Yeah, both gone.
Oh, I didn't know that. I haven't been downtown in so long. So
I know, me either. And it was like, this is so weird. I mean, there's these sectors of things that are definitely look recessionary.
Well,
It's just so weird. I don't know,
but,
man.
but that's all right. So you're right. When it comes to commercial real estate, that might not come back for a long time because of all
Right.
this remote work stuff. And as much as these employees, you see, once again, remember a lot of these big tech companies, they're trying to force their employees back to the office,
And
they were trying to use certain, leverage to try to force employees. Well, they don't really have to. They don't really. I mean, the work was getting done. The work was getting done during the pandemic. The work was getting done during the pandemic. Why all of a sudden do they feel like, well, we got to get them back to work? Yeah,
I think productivity probably has suffered. The way they used to calculate productivity.
The old calculation of it.
Exactly.
Because let's talk about the new calculation here. Employees don't have to spend 4 hours combined back and forth work and traffic anymore. To me,
or at lunch.
That's an immediate productivity lift right there. If you're from the employee standpoint, maybe not from the management standpoint, but it should be, because that's an aggregate. If one employee saves 3 hours of travel time, then what does that mean in terms of your whole workforce? To me, that's not factored into this productivity discussion.
I think more than anything, they're afraid that you're not working on their stuff as focused as you might have been at the office, which is probably a misnomer. Because honestly, I used to get so much work for my business done at their offices.
So you appear to be working.
It really wasn't that. You know what? And this is what bothers them, I think, or what numbers bother. I think the output is not reduced. I don't think there's actual evidence that the output of
there is
work,
I don't think there's any evidence. But here's the thing. They felt like they had a handle on it, because if they felt they knew where you are, and let's face it, it can be a kind of a surveillance state at some of these office headquarters. So they have things that could at least know where you were, and if it looked like you were working, they don't have that now.
It's like a friend of mine, and then a friend of mine told me he works, right? He's like, the projects that I would used to take like 2 weeks, or 80 hours to do, I'm doing now in 8 with ChatGPT.
See, that's the other thing.
I think that's a problem for them that they want to get a handle on.
But see, I don't think they don't want to factor that into this productivity equation, so that is a negative for having people go back to work. If you factor that in, then it's like, well, what's the argument now?
It's like, let me just.
Yeah. So it's like they want to use certain old metrics. They want to use certain old metrics to push the idea that the productivity isn't the same post-pandemic as it is pre-pandemic. But with the new technology that wasn't around pre-pandemic, they don't want to factor that in. They do not want to factor that into this discussion.
But bro, if you just think about it, man, when we entered into at least, when you did way back in the day, when the TV was black and white, things like that. But if you really think about it, I mean, the amount of productivity that an average worker puts in today with all the technology, the communications, we work so much more. There's so much more output that is even just expected on the low end that, was not even possible back in the day. So it seems like the more tech we get, the more they want.
Well, this is the dilemma that a lot of these companies are in, that are trying to force people. They use the argument. There's two arguments. Productivity isn't the same as it was pre-pandemic. Collaboration and teamwork and the ability to have ideas bounce off just by being together and sparks flying. You missed that. I'm just saying those are the
I get it.
arguments.
And for me, I don't know about other people, but those were the most non-productive hours of the day.
Because you spend your whole day in freaking meetings, and
In
you just
freaking meetings, worthless, worthless. In a meeting where 80% of the people are idiots,
and
but
see
they
this.
are your boss.
But this is where the productivity argument really irritates me. Like you said, you spend all your freaking time in meetings. In those meetings, you get, if you're lucky to get a 5 to 10 seconds of brilliance out of a 45-minute to an hour meeting, you're lucky.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you spend all your time and you spend 8 hours a day in these meetings, and maybe a minute of actual brilliance will come out of
Comes
that.
out of it.
So how
Yeah.
productive is that?
Agreed. Agreed. It's not like I'm forsaking the, getting together and there's something that happens when humans are in the room together. But like you said, man, most of the time is spent on consensus.
It's consensus and surveillance
Mm,
that is driving these companies to want people to go back into the office.
mm,
It's not productivity, because if you're
mm.
really, you take your chat GPT and your large language models, you let people have that to do, access to that in itself should drive down productivity immensely. Them
Mm.
not having to get on the road 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours a day going back and forth. That's another huge productivity gain. They
Yeah.
could take those 4 hours and collaborate with Chat GPT and come up with
Right.
all kinds of stuff.
Mm, I think this is going to come to a big, head in a minute. I think it really is. Even though it's in the news and everything, and people are, what do they call it? Where they silently quit,
Oh,
or
great resignation or something. Quiet
yeah,
quitting.
yeah. I don't know if it's all that, but yes, I think there is going to be some pushback.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's already a lot of pushback. But
yeah.
the part of trying to defeat the pushback is recession specter. If we
Recession
keep talking
specter.
about it, if we keep bringing it up, that allows us to have a little bit more say over what goes on. I mean, look, I'm very cynical. Yeah, cynical. Very cynical about this
Extremely.
because there was a push. There's this thing called digital transformation, and and part of that digital transformation was making it easier for people to work from wherever and collaborate from wherever. You don't have to hire people that are just because they're in the right geographic location, you hire them. No, that's digital transformation. So it was supposed to allow people to hire the best regardless of where they are, because this technology brings you all together. And
Right.
now all of a sudden, well, not so fast with all that stuff. We need you to come into the office. Like, what? So on the one hand, a lot of these technology companies are selling this idea, this concept, and the tools and platforms of this digital transformation. You need this stuff to be better. But on the flip side, they're telling their own employees, no, we need you to come into the office.
I don't know how that became such a, round them up and let's get them going, but it sure is it's interesting.
Now, I will say this about Amazon. They have actually had to hire people to get physical stuff from point A to point B. You
Yeah.
can't. I don't. Could Chat GPT do that yet? I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe
No,
it'll happen, but they ain't
no,
doing it just yet,
no,
which
but
is
I mean,
kind of funny.
well, it is kind of funny. I think it is kind of funny. Well, I don't know if I want to go this deep into it right
Uh
now.
oh.
No, not that. It's just that I think that my perspective on, and not even a perspective, what I'm seeing happen are the things that we thought were a little passe in the technology age are suddenly going to be skills that have a lot of value. So it's like if you're working with your hands right now, it's the thing That's good. Okay, let's put it like this. The first revolution was replacing auto workers on the line, right? It's like, oh, we got all these robotics, and now this puts the thing together, right? We don't need those kind of people, right? So now the second wave is putting the minds and the creatives out of business. I don't think anybody sat and said, hey, when we get large language models that understand stuff, they're actually going to replace the artist. Really? Who said photographers were going to be kind of like not as it's just weird.
You know how every profession thinks that they're irreplaceable, especially the more white collar, the more creative. You know, you think, oh yeah, it's a shame for those little manual blue labor people.
I love it. I love it.
But when it starts feeling like it's creeping up into their neck of the woods, all of a sudden it becomes, you know, priority number one. We can't. No, we don't want this.
So
it's
where are we? Because literally, if you think about it, Brent, and this is the part I didn't want to totally get into, but the breadcrumbs have led you to almost the point. What do you think is going to happen when we realize that it is a lot of those people that have been in these white collar type positions that we don't need them anymore? They're the ones that really we don't need anymore.
The same thing that happens to the blue collar people. Either you adapt and overcome, as my boy Clint Eastwood said in a movie,
right?
Because the number of jobs that are going to be replaced will not equal the number of jobs that will actually be created. But if you were in a profession that's going to go away, your challenge is to find a new profession or a skill set that is coming on board.
Because what we're talking about, look, we're talking about lawyers, bankers.
Yes, yeah.
These are not necessarily the people I see saying, I'm going to retrain myself to be an asset to. I
hey, look, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
And in the old economy, they would have never dreamed of having to do this.
Right.
It ain't the old economy. That's
the old economy.
Yeah.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why. No, I'm not going to say that.
Here's a pitch coming, folks. Brace yourself.
No, it's not a pitch. I was just going to say this is why Joe Biden is a little too old.
Oh, wow. Nikki Haley already called that out, apparently.
I just think it's just like, yo, we're going into such a new phase of technology and the world, and I want all of these things gone, man. I don't know. Did you hear about the Japanese city?
No.
That is using ChatGPT to help govern the city.
Help. Okay.
Absolutely. Because this is not to run.
Yeah.
Right. But it's like, this is such a small and dying, city or whatever they call them. It's not a state, but it's such a small dying city in terms of the people are getting older. The young people are leaving. They don't really have enough people in the government offices to fulfill all the need. So they're leveraging ChatGPT now to help run the government. That's
a sign of things to come.
It is.
Yeah, that's kind of why you're hearing this term co-pilot. Microsoft has actually named their AI assistant the Microsoft Dynamics Copilot.
Oh, really? It's not Bing anymore?
Well, that's the search engine. That's still search. But anyway, but everything is going to have everything is going to have a co-pilot. So, to help people do their jobs more productively. So you don't have to come to the office to use it.
Everything will have a pilot, and you can play
or I like to say a wingman. Everybody's gonna have a wingman.
No,
we like wingmen, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it'll be nice.
That's what I'm saying. And so the way that people work with these things is going to be, unfortunately, it's going to be evolving so fast that when you offer somebody a $200 course in AI today, it's not going to be worth anything because the whole game will change. I'm just, I'm just being blunt and honest here. What
doesn't matter.
what you get trained on AI today is going to be useless a month from now because the whole thing is going to change. It's too rapid. It's too in flux to think
I
that you can
don't.
take a course and understand it.
Okay, I will tell you what. Here's what I'm looking at AI as a little bit, right? I want to see what he said. What did he say? Thomas say.
Yeah, I got somebody left that comment on something I posted on LinkedIn. I just said Microsoft is using that term for their product. I didn't say they coined it. I just said that they are using it. But yeah, Copilot apparently was a term. It's probably used before SAP in 2017. But who knows? I'm just saying what I know is Microsoft has actually named a product that.
So here's the deal, man. I'm seeing. I'm trying to get. There's two big things that I think are important that would kind of help with this analogy. I'll start with the yellow one. Spreadsheets. I'll start with spreadsheets. Okay. Spreadsheets have been around since the 80s, right? And still here. If you understand
not just still here,
very prevalent.
Even big businesses are still running on them in certain
because of the power. I mean, they're extremely
because
powerful.
everybody is easy to use, right?
But they're extremely powerful. I mean, if you know,
they can be very complex, but it's very easy to get started.
And yeah, right. So it's same. So there's certain things that a non-techie person can use a spreadsheet for. But if you learn the formulas and how to use them, you can build some pretty detailed. So I think there's some value in learning the base of how these things work in terms of prompting. You know, I think there's power in that.
Yeah, I think you're right. But the way that a lot of these courses are being marketed, it's like, I'll teach you everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you just can't teach you everything because you don't know everything.
We're not even in the bottom of the first inning with it. This is like the first batter up, first pitch, and people are getting stuff thrown at them. It's so because everybody, we've had this discussion so many times. It's ridiculous, but I'm getting stuff from people that I've known for years, and all of a sudden I'm like, "What? You're who now?" And it doesn't make any sense to me. But they're all trying to, I go back to my gold rush. Everybody's trying to get that gold.
It is. But you know what? I'll tell you one thing. If you go panning right now, you will get a nugget. That's one difference. So it's not like they're really selling you snake oil because there's actual value in this thing.
Well,
no matter.
It depends.
Yeah. What do you think?
It feels to me that people are trying to not just understand or use ChatGPT to do because it's productive. They're trying to do it in order to get paid or to become some kind. Let's face it. A lot of people are trying to get internet famous off of this stuff and being the person that they must be the guru. And they want to be known as the brand for that. I blame all this on what's been going on, for years on the internet. Everybody is this mad dash to be seen as, the man, or what are they saying? I am him, that everybody want to be able to be labeled as that so they can go around. And this is the other thing. I'm not going to drop any more shade, but I really wish I could, because there's one I really want to roll off, but I can't do it because it's too damn obvious. But everybody wants to know just enough so they can go out and brand themselves as the person instead of really digging it and using it to do something besides say that I'm the person you should follow because I will teach you, when they barely learn themselves. That's all I'm saying about it. And I managed to do that without shade individuals.
Yeah, you did that without shaming any.
Yes.
Did you see my post? Because I am the real deal. I'm the real deal now. I'm the real deal.
Oh, okay. You all right.
Did you see my post? Yes or no?
Oh, the one where
You
you were
saw it.
blathering on about getting
You saw it.
access to,
Yeah,
yeah,
you saw it.
yeah,
Yeah, you
because
saw
I
it.
commented, I said that's the best thing besides winning the lottery.
You know what? I haven't been on Facebook today, believe it or not.
Huh.
So, huh?
Yeah, you and a million other people are very happy right now, so that's okay.
Did a lot of people get it last night?
A lot of yeah, that was like the second wave. I mean, anyway, I'm very happy for you. Moving right along.
No, I'm serious. I have not seen anybody demonstrating that, hey, I've got access to the plugins on
Oh, you mean
ChatGPT.
nobody wrote "Holy shit"? I got access.
Nobody. Not that I know. Bro,
Anyway, let me know
I
how it is.
seriously,
Yeah,
seriously, it blew my mind.
really?
It really did. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I need to explore. Why is that blowing your mind?
Um, you know what? Okay, it blows my mind in the way that the first time I realized the difference between a animal that just goes along its way through life and a uh, smarter animal that can use tools.
Huh? Say what?
Okay, so there's animals, and then there's smarter animals with bigger brains that actually use tools. That can
Okay.
use a tool. So that can like the chimpanzee will go and grab a stick to help him extend his reach to knock something out of the tree. That's
Right.
that's that's a higher level of intelligence. You see
Okay.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's more of the fascination that I saw. It's like, oh wow, okay. It knows that it can use this tool to get the result that it needs so that it can expand its ability to give the right solution to whatever scenario is presented with. So I think that's more or less what kind of freaked me out. It was like, wow,
Let
this shit is
me.
crazy.
I'm going to play something for you. I had a conversation with Chief Technology Officer, a company called Pegasus Systems, which is a big customer experience platform company up in Boston. They do over $1 billion in annual revenue. And I asked them about what give me yours and your company's perspective on all this stuff, because everybody's talking about it. So I would love to hear yours. So let me see if let's see if this will work. And I want to get your feedback on this. Told me before he came on the air, you also had the gift of running in the Boston. Congratulations on not the clip. Let me find the right clip, because well, he also
That's the right guy.
That is the right guy. That is the right. I got multiple. I got multiple clips for all my conversations, but keep talking. I'll bring that up.
Yeah, I just think there's so I mean I only got to play with it for 10 minutes last night. It was very late, but that's why I was like, holy shit. It was like, whoa.
Cool. All right, here we go. I got it.
You got it.
All right, here it is.
Models, which have actually been around for a number of years, suddenly became forefront in the public imagination and became forefront in the executive imagination. Companies that I talk to all the time are being asked by their leaders to go figure out what this stuff is, how do we use it, and how do we do it responsibly. But I think that the way to leverage this technology, especially right now, is still going to be very, very sort of human in the loop. We have a low-code platform for workflows. Do you start diagramming out your workflow process? Thanks to ChatGPT and a little bit of clever prompt engineering, I basically have an infinite library of workflow templates at my fingertips. Maybe my first step of building a low-code workflow app is not to draw out my steps, but say, I want a loan application app for the UK. What would that look like? And use the response from generative AI to lay out a skeleton of what that process might be, so that I'm accelerating the developer, I'm helping them move faster, but I'm still ultimately leaving it under human control and judgment as to now how I take that input from generative AI and turn it into something real. We've been really focused on that human-assisted piece of it, because I think that's where you can actually have a real impact. For example, we work with a lot of clients on next best action solutions. If you do that right, is increased personalization. So I move from big segment-based marketing to much more tailored, individual, personalized conversations, right? Which I think is a form of customer empathy. I'm going to talk to you about things that are actually relevant to you as opposed to the product that I want to push. The challenge is, as you get more and more individual in those conversations, marketers have to start writing more and more treatments. So all of a sudden, the capacity of your marketing and your copy team hits a wall. If I build a treatment for a particular offer, like a new credit card, I could then use generative AI to say, great, take this copy, rewrite it for a millennial offer, rewrite it for a retiree, rewrite it for a couple that just had their first child, and then bring those suggested copy tweaks back to a marketer to review. But now all of a sudden, a single marketer is able to generate 10 or 15 different treatments in the time it took them to write one. And that's where I think some of the power of this is.
All right. I love that because he actually laid out real legitimate use cases that talked about a lot of things: increased productivity, people needing to do their jobs differently, the co-piloting aspects of this, and the actual empathy that if you do this all right, it actually allows the employees to do more, but it also allows you to have a little bit more of an empathetic approach to customer experience. I love that. And guess what? I don't hear that being talked about when I see the sign up for my class for $200, and it's usually some dog and pony shit. But I love how that, now, if that's the way it goes, that is going to go through every aspect of any kind of human interaction, because all of that, and maybe you'll see that in this next batch of ChatGPT, you're starting to see real definitive use cases being developed instead of this pie in the sky. Oh, write me a poem, or what is this or that, or give me the definition, or 300 words or less. What does this mean? That's all cool and all, but that's like Alexa back in the day, telling it to get me a pizza or something like that. I want to see what happens when we start really digging in and laying out these kinds of things, these kind of use cases. And that goes well beyond the, hey, you need to sign up for my newsletter to get the best tips.
Well, I wouldn't compare the two. Although I wouldn't compare the two, but I will make this comparison. They're about on the same level.
What is?
What he said versus what they said. They're
not
about on the
even
same
close.
level.
Not even close. Come on.
Here's the thing. I mean, you know what mommy says. Mommy says, if you don't have nothing nice to say,
take your time, young man. Take your time, young man.
No, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, not I don't want to personalize this, okay? But what was being presented was just boardroom speak. And it's really cute when you want to sell the C-suite on shit that they don't understand, because you don't actually understand, but you found a good way to present it so that maybe they will invest in you. But here's the thing. Let me finish. I let me lay out my case.
Completely in your mouth, but go ahead.
Let me lay out my case. Put
it all the way in.
All right, let me put it all the way in. Yeah, because tastes good. All right, tastes great, less filling. So here's the deal. So when you in that scenario where he's talking about our people now, instead of writing one thing, can write 25 different cases. I mean, all he really was talking about was personalization. I mean, personalization, honestly, if I think about it, personalization has been this little carrot and stick game that we've been playing, especially in this space, particularly in the marketing space, for a long time, right? But I'm telling you that what this ChatGPT can do is not take the shit you wrote and make it relevant to a millennial and a Gen Xer and a Gen Y. That's not what it's going to do. It'll literally write the first thing uniquely to each one of those without you ever telling it or giving it the example. That's how far deep this goes. I don't need the person sitting there in the marketing department coming up with the beginning of the creative and then taking it with ChatGPT as my co-pilot to making it better. The actuality is that using ChatGPT as the co-pilot is reducing the actual value of ChatGPT in and of itself. We are the damn co-pilot, but nobody wants to talk about that because that's very scary. But if you've got something that's in your pocket that has the words, the knowledge, and the understanding that is the smartest thing, smarter than all the smartest humans combined, you don't take that thing and put it in your co-pilot seat. You let it drive the damn plane. And that's where we are. So,
all right.
until,
So you get on the plane where it's being driven.
I don't want to.
You go ahead. You believe in it so much. Get on that plane. Get in that car. Actually, you don't need the humans at all anymore.
Bro,
Just get on that
should,
plane and car.
I'll tell you seriously. You should talk to an actual airline pilot.
Yeah. That
And
sits
ask
there
them.
just in case something
And
goes
ask them.
wrong.
No, seriously. No, right. If something goes wrong, we do need, absolutely, we do need. Yeah, we do need.
The AI is doing exactly what it was trained to do because it was written by humans who trained it to do that.
Exactly.
And those humans
are
not
there
really. Just in case when the thing messes up.
Here's the thing, man. So what is your understanding of emerging technologies? What is your understanding of when they say this is emerging capability? What does that mean to you?
What it's meant for the last, well,
so what does it mean?
Last 25 years. I'm telling you, it means the exact same thing it meant 25 years ago when you talk about emerging technologies. It's either technology that improves what you already do, makes it more efficient and more effective to do what you already do, or it allows you to do things that you were never even able to do before. It's one or the other.
And then
to scale that up.
I did. I changed it and I misspoke. I didn't mean to say emerging technologies. I meant to say emerging capabilities. So now give me what does that mean to you?
Emerging capabilities is the exact same. It's the latter part. It's the ability to do things that you've never even dreamed to be able to do before. But you have to be able to think about those things before you can even do those. Or you have a co-pilot that allows you to do that.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is the point I'm getting across. A lot of these things, what I'm saying is that nobody built GPT, and I'm not even talking about ChatGPT because that's the baby version.
And when you're done, you can answer Thomas's question too.
I have no idea. But I'll tell you what.
And that's the point right there. Nobody knows.
I'll give him. Here's the social implications. The social implication is, Thomas, honestly, is that we're this close to first contact. We're this close to actually contacting a being that is smarter than all of us. And that's going to be a very big shift in it's you know what I'm saying? See, so what Brent, what you were saying was you get on the plane when the ChatGPT is running it, right? That's what you're trying to, when AI is running the plane. Well, and I'm saying that we're close. Listen, we're close to where it running the plane is better than human running the plane. And that's something we as humans can't even work it out in our brains that we are going to be less than.
Dude,
we've always been number one.
You're talking like Arthur Clarke never existed or never wrote about 2001 back in the 50s. These are all thoughts. This is all thoughts that have been brewing for the last 50.
But we're here now.
But we're not. We'll never be here. We'll never be completely there. Because do you remember what happened in those?
Like you said, the singularity is close, bro. I'm telling you.
Anytime.
And so here's the thing. Let me put it like this: if we're that close to these things, Brent, the things of the 50s and stuff, and then the best thing that somebody that supposedly, right, so our best thinkers And all they can come out with is, hey, you can take that and write one a post for millennials and Gen X's and Gen Y's. I'm like, bro, that is, as far as I'm concerned, as low level as having your class for $295. That's all I'm saying.
No,
That's all I'm saying. We're talking.
I think it's completely different, but okay.
Concepts of what GPT-4 can do is so far ahead of, hey, let's write some marketing materials for these different audiences.
We're talking about companies that, remember we were making fun about RPA, about somebody saying it was new. Company like Pega and others, they bought RPA companies like a decade plus ago. They've been messing around with this stuff for almost a decade at this point. So they know everything.
So that's where it
because they've got hands-on. They actually got their own large they already got their own large language models. They already have tons of data that they're playing with. They are way ahead of the individuals that have just learned how to spell AI 2 days ago. That's all I'm saying.
That's so, and I absolutely agree with you. Although let's not put those things on the same level as a GPT, because the size of the model of GPT is way bigger than the size of all these other models, maybe except for Google's. All right. So let's talk about, or maybe Microsoft. Well, Microsoft is ChatGPT. So, I mean, they bought into it because they needed it.
But what Microsoft does is takes what I'm just gonna say. You're tell me what you're saying. Let me say what I was gonna say.
I just want because I want to make this point. I just want to make this one point. I always do that, but I want to make I know. Thank you for letting me. But I want to make the point is that emerging, I didn't say technology. What was the other word? I keep getting it too. Because I'm
emerging
capability.
Capability.
So the deal is that what is happening is nobody teaches. Here's what just happened a couple of weeks ago. Okay. A couple of weeks ago, I don't know the actual language. I'm going to say Farsi. Okay. ChatGPT did not know Farsi. Okay. And I don't think it was Farsi. It was something else, right, guys? Somebody put it in, it was actually created to put its output in English. That's the way it was created. Okay. Right. That's what the coders made. Right. Somebody put in some one line of Farsi and asked it a question, and it answered it back in Farsi. Once it did the answer back in Farsi, it knew how to speak fluently in Farsi.
Yeah.
That is an emerging capability. We didn't teach it. We didn't even program it to do those things. So that's where we are. So when anybody comes to you and says, oh, I know what the future, I don't give a flying fart how big their industry is, how much they spent, how big their data centers are, the capabilities that are emerging. Didn't nobody know this was going to happen. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the part that is kind of frightening.
Well, I guess it's not as frightening to people who have been watching sci-fi for decades.
But sci-fi is...
No, but I'm just saying, even with all that's going on now, we're still ways away, because all it takes is a power outage for this to completely go down. And guess what happens? Well, we got to go back to the human. Wait a minute, the human ain't on the plane, folks. Say your goodbyes. I mean, that's just this technology is great. It's going to allow,
but it always needs power.
It's going to allow for emerging capabilities. I totally agree with you. It's going to allow things to happen in a much ridiculously faster rate and a much greater scale. But there's always a human that has to be a part of the equation.
But you know who the humans are? They're all blue collar.
Hey, okay, I'm good with that.
That's the crazy part. And I think going back to even what Thomas said earlier about who needs lawyers and bankers.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, what do you think the world's going to be like when we don't need lawyers and bankers, and lawyers and bankers figure out we don't need lawyers and bankers?
Well, the first people that's using this
that's what scares me.
The first people that are using this stuff for legal activities are lawyers and I'll just say lawyers, forget the bankers, because it actually makes them more productive at the moment, because
then
the
it's
stuff
going
that
into
they would have had to do to take hours, now they can offload it.
then we don't need him. Then we don't
Yeah.
need him. What's going to happen? I mean, because you think about it, all of our lawmakers, right?
Like
all of our
Marjorie Taylor
governors.
Greene.
Oof, oof. You know what? I think a good test would be, let's put ChatGPT in her place.
Shit, come on, man. That's not even a fair fight.
I
mean,
but
damn.
these. So when I talk about, it's not about robots taking over the world. That doesn't bother me. I think robots would do way better than humans. Okay, I'm not worried about that part. What I'm concerned about, I'm not even concerned, not even scared, but I'm intrigued about is what is going to happen when the masses realize we don't need the overlords anymore.
Well, let's go back to
God,
the
this
dawn
is way
of
too deep.
let's go back to the dawn of the the automobile industry, and Ford with the the creation of the manufacturing line. What that made it made it less manual people actually doing things, but they became more supervisory and allowing the machines to do most of the work. And as time goes on and more processes and more capabilities can be done either through automation or through robotics, there are fewer people with hands on, but it never gets to a point where there'll be no people involved. And
but they're not above the thing. They're not, the people are not going to be above the thing. They're going to be below the thing.
Well, I don't know if it'll be below the thing.
I know that's the look, bro. I'm telling you, anybody that stays like this is going to be losing the people that stay like this.
Well, that might be the case. There might be fewer people to manage, but there's always here's the reason why. You're gonna need, if something goes wrong, who are you gonna arrest? A robot? Oh no. They're not gonna be robot jails. It's gonna be humans. And there's always, you're gonna have to have a throat to choke.
Bro, I don't need, not only that. Hey, what else? Here's the other part. What happens when we have competing robot lords?
Yeah, as I said, robots ain't going to jail because
so good.
It's humans. There will always be a human to blame stuff on. It may not be as many humans, but there will always be humans. And so I don't see that.
You know what? You know who says that?
Who? ChatGPT.
Humans.
You made me go through this whole damn show, and I didn't do one damn slide. I had
you know what?
I had the earnings report from Amazon, Google, Microsoft, ServiceNow, Facebook, and we didn't get the idiot.
Not to you. I'm not talking to you, but everybody else. You're welcome.
Oh,
you're welcome.
I'm getting ready to get out of here because I'm not going to be late to see Prince. Well, the estate.
It's tomorrow. It's Sunday, bro.
Yeah, but I got to make sure I'm on my plane. I got the first class upgrade.
When do you leave? Tonight?
No, tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, we got plenty of time.
No, we don't. I got to be prepared.
Oh, my God. Thomas, who are the overlords? I don't know. All I know is what I know. And I speak from what I do know, but I don't have any answers. I have zero
He just
answers.
has a bunch of questions, Thomas. It's a bunch of questions.
Pretty much.
But maybe
when somebody, when you try to sell me on, all about, and you're the expert on AI.
We should all get our $200
$295
and sign up for that course. It's only 2 days.
And here's the thing, man. You know what? I think there are some great individual uses, and don't get me. And I'm not even
what a comment, Tom.
This has almost been a stand-up comedy with it. That's great.
We're glad that we are here to entertain
because I enjoy the comedy part. Yeah, but I'm glad he gets the comedy part.
Oh,
No, that was you.
No.
What?
Anyway,
What are you
Thomas, you can see us live and in person in Austin next week.
That's right. Live and in person, bro.
Anyway, all right. So yeah, hopefully we'll get it. We'll try to do something while we're all together. That'd be kind of fun.
6:04, bro.
When are you getting to Austin? Are you leaving Wednesday or Tuesday night to go?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Anyway, we'll figure it out.
Look it up for real.
Well, no, that's all right.
Are you going? Are you going? Are you coming back home?
Yeah, I'm coming back.
I get an echo.
Yeah, that's just a sign that we need to end this now. So, maybe we'll do a show while we're out there. We'll let you know. In the meantime,
we got to do something. We got to do something.
I bet a bunch of our mutual friends will be there.
Yeah, Ramon Ray, Paul Green.
Oh, I know Paul is there. Yeah,
I'm sure.
Anyway,
a lot of people will be there.
Well, Anita Campbell will be there as well.
Anita Campbell will be there.
Yeah. So anyway,
Brian Moran will be there.
Yeah, I'm sure the whole crew. It's been 4 years, so
we
will look out for us next week on location, live in Austin, Texas. You better bring your cowboy hat and your spurs and your stuff that jingle jangle.
I leave on May 3rd.
Okay, that's the same. What time? I leave on May 3rd. What time is your flight?
I've made sure not to be on your plane. You know how they say things on there like, special requests. I'm like, do not put me on the same plane.
That's all right, because I got the first class upgrade for that one too. So whatever.
I'm sitting right behind you.
No, all right, as it should.
I'm going out at 1:45.
That is my flight.
Shit.
I believe that's my flight. Anyway, it's time for this.
It's packed, bro.
It's time. Go ahead and do it so I can end this.
Deuce. Peace. Later.
Next week.